All right. So I just figured out not too long ago that for over 50 years, various politicians have gone out their way to make sure the healthiest versions of everything we can grow and eat are not grown, sold, or depicted in any way, shape, or form in the vast majority of areas in the US. I was watching BlackForager's content, right? Like scrolling through all of the different reels, right? Then I went to the Threads account, like, oh shit, let me follow her on Threads too. And eventually, right, I came across a few posts that touched on why it was so difficult for people to forage legally. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I want to do my part. Let me stop world hunger, to the best of my ability, create a little business. Let's get down. I started doing my research. Oh, commercial seeds? Nah, we don't want the commercial seeds. The commercial seeds is mass produced. We want the heirloom seeds. Got over 26,000 heirloom seeds, started giving them away, talking to the local farms and, community farms, talking to people out of state, mailing different packages out. And then it finally hit me as I was researching stuff. I was like, I've never seen blue corn in the textbook. I've never seen purple tomatoes in the textbook. If cruelty is the point, what's the end game? What's the point? Like, what's the point behind the point? Keeping everybody just malnourished enough that they can't fight back, but just healthy enough to make sure they complete the several years long plan you have for them in your workforce, to make sure you continue making your billions. So the entire point of everybody being hyper focused on social media and entertainment and parasocial relationships is literally just to make sure that as you're eating the healthiest foods, right? The vegans, the vegetarians, everybody fighting each other, whatever, you're still not eating the healthiest versions of the shit that you could be eating. Only people with generational wealth and generational knowledge are learning about that type of shit. Or, right, they're people who are growing the fucking food, or they live in the areas close to where people is growing the fucking food. And that would be the farmers. But think about it. How many farmers voted for Trump right before Trump was like, you know what? Everything that you guys need, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna crush it beneath my boot. I'm gonna fuck it up. Like, did somebody say minor? Like, yo, and it backfired. So, like, think about what's happening to like all the farmers right now. How everybody's having like maggot regret. It's like I knew that the education system was fucked up. Did a little bit more research. Over 54% of the adult population in the United States has reading and comprehension at or below the sixth grade level. The second largest demographic of adults in the US have the reading and comprehension of an eighth grader or below. That's a lot of motherfuckers. Like, no matter how you slice it, that's a lot of people who are like essentially disabled. Like, they have a learning disability. Or like I don't even know how to put it. Like it's like you have a learning disability that has been induced over time. Like blue corn and purple tomatoes is really just the tip of the iceberg. You feel me? That's basically my concern ramblings for the video. The other half of the video is where's everybody's sense of self-preservation? Why aren't more people following content creators and keeping up with this type of information? Why is it not more important? And then I go to people like the Black Forager. I go to people like Dr. Max Butterfield. You feel what I'm saying? And every day, day after day after day, I see Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield, constantly back to back to back videos debunking the bullshit. It never stops. And it's like even people who aren't getting paid for it, all they're getting is attention. That's their payment. Attention. It's like even y'all, like you would think that eventually the shock value of being at DEF CON 2 not too long ago would get people's head out of, whatever BS they was into. You would think eventually with enough people debunking videos about, oh, these females and oh, if he wanted to, he would, and clock it. Yes, I choose the bear and all of this other stuff. You would think with Dr. Max Butterfield constantly trying to address these things in a healthy way, you feel what I'm saying? To help people with science. You would think that eventually these influencers would stop doing it, but they never stop. They keep going. They just double, triple, quadruple, quintuple down. Like they just keep going and going and going and going. And then you realize, damn, that education statistic. We're not dealing with grown people who should know better. We're literally dealing with teenagers in adult bodies who quite literally don't know how to operate. And then I'm thinking, like, I'm a psychology major. So let me take a step back. Now that I've gotten all my little, you feel me? Now that I've gotten all my little rants out, my anger and my judgment, let me look at this from the perspective of an educated individual. If there are truly this many people suffering, right, from poor education, poor reading and comprehension, then essentially I have to recognize the human brain cannot operate off of information it has not effectively assimilated. That means there are hundreds of millions of people that have not effectively assimilated the information necessary to develop their critical thinking skills, to develop their emotional intelligence, their empathy, their social calibration, their self awareness, their kindness, right? Their cognitive abilities, right? Their reading and comprehension. I know there's a piece of hair, there's a random ass fucking piece of hair somewhere, and that shit just keeps moving in the opposite direction and poking me in the side of my nose. Cease and desist. For those who don't know, I just put Vaseline on. So I'm taking a little bit of Vaseline that was on my fingers and rubbing it so that the shit stay in the opposite direction. That shit will set my ADHD off. That shit will really grind my gears if it's a piece of hair that just keep bothering me. But yeah, all jokes aside, like it's heartbreaking to have, avoided parasocial relationships, but still come to the conclusion that, people like BlackForager are, Sesame Street levels of, you feel me, reading rainbow levels, Bill Nye the Science Guy levels of, you feel me, in Mr. Rogers levels are awesome. You feel what I'm saying? Like Mr. Rogers levels of impactful. You feel what I'm saying? Like all of these different shows on PBS and stuff, and different, content creators over the years that echo that. You feel what I'm saying? That emulate that. To know that Black Forager is on that level, right? Without the parasocial relationship. But then to see now, even more than ever, that I've, gone through the trouble of creating my own business. You feel me? Shout out to all of the other people that helped me manage Botanical Blacktivity. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't I never really expected to be that successful that quickly, to have all of these different people contacting me about my business. Like, oh, damn, you got heirloom seeds? We need that. Oh, you want to come talk to you feel me? White Lock Community Garden was like, hey, you want to come talk to us on May 2nd? Talk to everybody about your business. We throwing a little event. You can talk to everybody. It's going to be hella folk there. Come through. The local GameStop being like, hey, yeah, bring your flyers and your business cards. We got you. Relief Shop in Baltimore saying, yeah, no, bring your business cards, your flyers. We got you. The post office downtown being like, yeah, yeah, bring them that, bring it on down here. We got you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's overwhelming positivity. But then at the same time, it's that fear and that sadness that's keeping me from just being truly 100% giddy because I recognize how many disabled people there are in danger right now, right? It takes time to grow food. But because we got so many rich influencers that keep doubling down, or people that ain't even rich, they just got a lot of attention, but they use that attention on all of the wrong stuff. It's bittersweet. And I think that's pretty much everything constructive, that my ADHD will allow me to ramble in my concerned fashion. So thank you for sticking around for my concerned ramblings for as long as y'all have. As always, love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you supposed to know if somebody else really love you or not? And be yourself, because being somebody else takes way too much effort. And as y'all have heard, we already got enough on our plate already. I'm Kami the Wolf Boy, aka Pretty Blicky, aka Slick Blick, aka your favorite baby father, and I need a nap.